With Dave Pedri, manager of Luzerne County. Dave, thanks for joining us here on SSPTV to clear up some of what we are doing for the primary. As we know, every day things change on the state level, which affects the county. When we talk about the election, we're June 2nd, we're supposed to be voting, and now we have the stay-at-home order at least till June 4th. How does that affect the voters? Tell us how we are going to go through effectively to vote in the primary this year.
So the main thing is this: the extension of the June 4th date in no way, shape, or form changes what we're doing here in Luzerne County. We still are setting for having our election in June 2nd. The entire state's having an election on June 2nd, and we're going to move forward with that. But we will be following social distancing guidelines, and we have made some necessary steps to make sure our people and our poll workers are safe if they want to come to the polls.
Yes, you can still go to the polls. So let's talk about physically going to the polls, to the people who want to go out and actually go to the polls. Will they be using the electronic voting machines? Will they be writing in on paper?
So on June 2nd, you still have the ability to go out to the polls. In the Hazleton area, in Hazleton City, we were able to consolidate all the wards from smaller locations into larger locations that are well ventilated and allow for social distancing. Every Hazleton voter will be voting in either the Castle on 9th Street or Heights Terrace Elementary School. And I want to thank Superintendent Brian Upplinger and the board members of the Hazleton Area School District for their support of us in this initiative. You're going to go to the school. And why did we pick the schools across the county? Well, a couple of different reasons. First off is no one's in them right now. The second thing is they are huge, spread out. They're all handicap accessible. We have parking lots, and we have the ability for people to vote safely. So you will be voting in those locations. West Hazleton will be voting at West Hazleton Middle School. Hazel Township will be voting as usual, as well as some of the valley areas. Sugarloaf, Cunningham, Butler, they're all voting in the same locations. And I encourage every single voter to go onto the Luzerne County website to see exactly where you'll be voting for your particular location. But that's if you go, and what's going to happen when you go to the polls. First step would be you're going to walk in, you're going to get your own pen because we're not going to be sharing pens, and we were concerned about the virus. You're going to sign into the election, and then you're going to vote via a paper ballot. The paper ballot is similar to a Scantron that people use for tests. There are over 30 counties across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that utilize these on a regular basis. We're going to utilize the paper ballots because we don't want people touching our machines and having to clean the machines and cleaning everything off consistently after that. We then you're going to take that ballot, feed into a scanner, and you voted, and you're on your way.
Okay, so we have that cleared up. Now, if you do not feel comfortable actually going to the physical polling place, you can mail in your vote. How does that work, and should people be concerned about confidentiality?
Well, a couple of different things. The first thing would be you have the ability to apply for a mail-in ballot for the first time in Pennsylvania history. We never had this before in Pennsylvania up until this year, and the legislature passed it, and I appreciate the legislators for doing it because it gives people an option. So what you will do is we have actually mailed out an application to every single registered voter in Democrat and Republican in Luzerne County. You're going to get that in the mail. And it's going to be, maybe there's 3 people, it's going to be addressed to one person, but it goes to the whole household. So if you have 3 registered voters in your house, you're going to get 3 applications. Fill out the application, mail it in if you would like, and then what's going to happen is then that gets scanned in, and then your ballot will be mailed to you by the Election Bureau. You fill out that ballot, and you mail it back in. This is the safest way and the recommended way to vote in the June 2nd election. You don't got to worry about long lines. You don't got to worry about touching something. You don't got to worry about somebody coughing on you. You don't got to worry about hand sanitizer. You can vote from the safety and security of your own home. We're asking people to truly consider the mail-in ballot. So far, over 23,000 voters have applied for mail-in ballots here in Luzerne County. That's an incredible amount, and we think that number will probably tap out around 35,000.
When you look at what's going to happen on Election Day, what are the guidelines as far as opening the results, getting the results in? Because, we're in an age of we do use technology, so we're not going to be using that as much for this election.
Yeah, so once again, so the mail-in ballots are the first time we're doing it, but so the state has set up a plan that at 7 a.m. that day, the Elections Bureau is able to open those ballots for the first time. And once we receive a ballot, I should have said this earlier, once we receive a ballot, it gets locked in a special location at the Luzerne County Election Bureau. That key is then locked in a separate location. It's only allowable by one individual. So your ballot is safe and secure. That ballot is then going to be opened up at 7 a.m. On election day, but it can't be counted until 8 p.m. that night under the law, because that's when the polls close. So when we actually get to count the ballot, will be 8 o'clock that night. All the results will come in the way they normally do across the entire county, and we're going to have a fair and impartial election, and most importantly, a safe one.
In your opinion, for Luzerne County, do you feel this will help increase voter turnout or decrease voter turnout? I know it's unprecedented times.
Well, I think that the mail-in ballot option will actually increase of people being out there. In the 2016 primary for the election, for the presidential election, that was a contested primary. Hillary was in that one along with a bunch of other candidates at that time. And obviously for a Republican nomination as well as President Trump and a bunch of different issues at that time. We had 40,000 voters come out in 2016. So I'm already up to 23,000 people who want to vote via mail, and I'm still 3 or 4 weeks out from outside the election. We may get that number up to 50,000, 60,000. This is what it's about. We want people to vote. We want people to take part in this. It blows my mind when people don't come out to vote in Luzerne County or anywhere across the entire nation. It only takes a little bit of time, but we shouldn't have to utilize the coronavirus as an excuse not to vote.